Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Crimes, Killers, Cults,
and Beer.
And beer. That doesn't sound like Todd, does it?
It doesn't. Todd sounds off tonight.
Yeah,
sounds strange.
Todd is off tonight. He has some things come up and everything, so he's off tonight, and he might be off next week too. I don't know. But whatever the case may be, I'm not going to get into his business. We wish him well. But in the meantime, sitting in Todd's chair is our good friend Mark from Mental Illness Theater. What's up, Mark?
Hey, how's it going, man? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. And this is kind of last minute unexpected, and but hey, we're going to make a go of it.
This is why you know other podcasters. So when it happens, it's like,
exactly.
Who can get on a microphone fast and do this?
Right. So this episode, this is a spin-off of our last meal episode, which is being well received. And in that episode, we actually said that it's like, hey, we're going to cover this guy. Might even be next week. Well, yeah, it is next week. So, because what the hell? So the one that we closed with was, Marion Albert Pruett. And, the crazy ass serial killer. And, as I start going into his story and everything, and yeah, this guy was a fucking nut job. He's like, if you ordered Pee Wee Gaskins from Wish.
Oh, fuck.
this is what
Alright, Pee Wee Gaskins is not the name you want to have. You don't want to be that guy.
No. But yeah, I'm glad that we came across that one in the last meal episode, because it's the story. I mean, it's not going to be a long one, but it's action packed.
It's worth it. I mean, I love it when shit like that happens, because I forget, we recently did one on Mental Illness Theater about a Canadian killer, Serge Archambault. He killed 3 people, so it doesn't sound like that much of a story, but when you get into the nuts and bolts of it, at one point he killed a woman, butchered her, went to a local store and ran into his wife 30 minutes after murdering this woman. And he played it like cool as a cucumber. And it's like, man, just that detail, we're making a short story out of this one. So it happens, right? Like, you're running. I listened
to that episode. I liked it.
I had no idea. Like, I had seen the name because, Canadian killer, we're in Canada, you recognize it, but when you actually got into the story, it was like, well, you just jumped up the list, didn't you, sir?
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I could have pushed this one back, but I'm just like, you know what? It's fresh off of everybody's minds with the, last meal episode. Fuck it. Let's just do it.
Exactly.
So, but we're going to get into a lot more detail than what we gave you on, the last meal episode. But cool, I'm glad you are liking that episode, because I honestly didn't think that episode was going to be well received. I like being wrong every now and then.
I know, it's hard to tell sometimes, because we have no artistic direction in our podcast, and it shows with the things we cover, and sometimes stuff hits and sometimes stuff doesn't, so go figure. So let's jump into this one. It's like I said, it's not a typical long one, but I think you're gonna have fun. Anytime you can compare a serial killer to Pee Wee Gaskins and call him the Wish version of Pee Wee Gaskins, on a true crime comedy podcast, it's a good start, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you're in for a treat.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But,
that's like last night, me and Gina recorded one that involved a lot of ancient Rome. And it's just like, man, we could just talk about how fucking crazy this society was. Like, Rome is nuts. These people are fucking crazy. So, yeah, sometimes they just write themselves.
I know, I was gonna do an ad for you, but, under the circumstances, I don't really have the, I can't right
now. Life happens, right? No, it's funny about that.
Yeah, so, All right. So strap in, pour yourself a Mad Dog, and because that was this guy's nickname, Mad Dog.
Which he gave himself, you told me.
Which he gave himself, yes. So Marion Albert Pruett. And I'm just going to recap on his crazy ass last meal because Mark, you said that you hadn't listened to the last meal episode. So
no, I have not.
We're going to start with his last meal.
Okay.
I generally don't like it when podcasts will be like, this is how the story ends. And then we're going to start from the beginning. No, just start from the beginning. But not this. But it's relevant this way because we covered it in a previous episode. So
I get you. No, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but let's see. He was executed by lethal injection on April 12th of 1999 at the Cummins unit of the Arkansas Department of Corrections in Grady, Arkansas.
Okay.
That was a mouthful.
So he's an Arkansas boy, though.
No.
Oh, well, there you go. Fucked it up already.
His crimes went on for only a very short time, from March 2nd, 1981 to later in the year of 81.
Oh, shit.
Like October. And like we said last week, his last meal was a large stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut.
Okay.
A large fry.
That's not bad.
3 2-liter bottles of Pepsi.
Okay.
A bucket of ice.
All right.
A bottle of ketchup. 4 Whoppers.
Okay.
Lots of salt. Fried eggplant. And fried okra.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What happened at the end there? First of all, I have to ask, you need extra salt for that?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I need extra salt for my fries and my 4 fucking burgers and my stuffed crust pizza. Like, are you trying to die before the lethal injection?
That's exactly what I think happened. Hold on. There's more. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm doing this off of a transcribed from my audio file from when we had recorded this episode initially.
I getcha.
This is a re-record, folks, because it didn't come out very well. There was technical difficulties the first time that Todd and I recorded it, so we're redoing it. And now Todd's not here.
Yeah, these are the things that listeners don't really know about, but how many times things fuck up horribly while we try to record. I'm shocked that we got it. We're actually recording right now on our first go. This has never happened before.
Well, our episode that we did on Gloria Trevi, that episode was cursed. I mean, we literally recorded that episode 3 different times.
Oh God.
And then it's just, I mean, it's in our top 5. People freaking loved it. Todd was like, oh man, maybe we should just kill this. I'm like, no, dude, people are going to dig this freaking episode. I know it. And sure enough, it's in our top 5. And
the only time we ever had to re-record was the second part of, the Eustacia, which was the Croatian murder cult that basically killed all the Serbians they can get their hands on in the Second World War. So it was basically a genocide episode, and we had to record it twice.
Oh, and, lovely.
Yeah, that's when Gina was like, there's a new rule. We're not doing any more genocides. And I was like, I agree. That was fucking terrible.
Yeah, well, I mean, the worst episode we've done is, Torture Mom Baniswecki or whatever the hell.
Oh, I passed on that one. I know the story, and it was just like, I'm sorry, man. I love the podcast, but I can't listen to this story ever again because I heard it enough. Like, this is just the worst. Oh my God, that poor girl.
And we did a pretty deep dive on it too, and Todd tapped out, and I almost did, but it's just like, okay, well, if Todd taps out, if I can't tap out.
Just dead air.
Yeah. But okay, yeah, this is just transcribed from my audio file from where we did it before. So it started another paragraph. He also had fried squash on top of the eggplant and the okra, and an entire pecan pie.
It's not my favorite pie.
I like pecan pie.
I think it's a very southern thing because around here, like we're in eastern Canada, we never see pecan pie. Like, it's just not really a thing.
Well, at least you're saying it correctly.
Is it pecan or pecan?
It's pecan.
There you go.
But some people, especially in the South, call it pecan. Yeah, a pecan is what truck drivers use so that they don't have to stop and take a piss.
Oh, it's not just truck drivers.
Well, yeah. But no, pecan trees are, very common. I lived in a house, years ago that had a pecan tree in the yard. And, well, I never had to pay for pecans.
Right. And I think that might be a Canadian thing because here by law, everything has to be flavored with maple. I don't think we're allowed to use any, no, you're not allowed to use that. They will physically stop you.
Oh, damn. But we're still on his last meal. He originally wanted a roast duck as well, but the prison wouldn't cook it. So, he just decided, okay, screw you. I'm just going to break the bank. And he did. And his little menu is like a freaking truck stop buffet right there.
Yeah, like that's more than a meal. Like 4 burgers, like holy shit, dude was going off. He was making sure he was full when he went off.
Yeah, I think he, was trying to off himself. or at very least try to make sure that they had like a huge mess to clean up or whatever. But the thing is, it's like, okay, they're going to give you the last meal. It's not going to digest completely. So it's not going to be like a greasy discharge or whatever.
Yeah, right. You're not going to be explosively shitting yourself like you want to be.
Right.
Because that's what I'd be shooting for. Don't get me wrong. I would be.
Well, yeah, but if you think about it, it's not enough time to digest that all that stuff down to where it gets into your large intestine and just goes off everywhere.
No, I get you, but I mean that's probably what's in mind as you're doing it. As you're loading the gun, this is what you're hoping for.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So. The sources are baffling documentaries on YouTube, and I found a really good documentary on him. It's on baffling documentaries, and I bookmarked that page. I'm going to use that source again. His wiki is Murderpedia and caselaw.com.
Oh, nice. Good old case law.
Yeah. So he was born October 4th, 1949 in Gastonia, North Carolina. Mm-hmm. But he was raised in Charlotte, which is about 45 minutes from Gastonia.
Okay. So he's a North Carolina boy.
Yeah, he's a North Carolina boy. He played baseball and he liked to skate, but he was never on time. He was always late.
Jesus Christ.
You got what I did. You caught it.
That was good. Holy shit.
That's I'm the Man by Anthrax for those of you who are going, what the hell are they laughing at? But no, he did play baseball and he liked to roller skate. So that's, I saw that and I couldn't resist. I had to bring Anthrax into this.
Very nice.
Damn, I should have said, but he's never on time. He's always sleeping. Late. Yeah, just go, if you don't know what I'm talking about, just Anthrax, I'm the Man. Look it up on YouTube. You're welcome.
Actually, look up everything Anthrax has ever done, because not to go on my rant, but they were one of my formative bands. Like, fuck, I still love Anthrax, man.
Me too. But anyway, but I digress. But for all intents and purposes, there's not a lot about his upbringing. And, it just seemed pretty normal until he became a teenager when he fell into with a biker gang, which led to drug and alcohol use. And his favorite drink of choice was, take a guess.
Mad Dog?
Mad Dog!
I don't even know what Mad Dog is. What is Mad Dog?
It's a malt liquor.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's It's like, Colt 45 or,
You've
it's
said
just
it.
one of those cheap.
Colt 45. I'm having so many bad flashbacks.
Yeah, it's just one of those cheap malt liquors that people will go and buy like 3 quarts of and for like $2.50 for all 3 of them or something.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'll never forget when they started selling 40 ounces of Colt 45 in like liquor stores when I was a teenager. It was a game changer because it was like, huh.
Yeah.
I mean, this tastes like trash, but man, whew.
If I can still get lunch at school, but if I skip the pizza slice, I'll have enough to go get a 40 on the way home.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we did high school the same way.
Oh God, that stuff is nasty. But then again, I drink Bud Light. So.
I mean, honestly, I found compared to a lot of shitty Canadian beers, I would take Colt 45 any day because, man, there are some fucking terrible ones. Like, we had one here that was called Wildcat, and I swear to God, it was made out of sweat. It was just fucking terrible.
Damn. Yeah, I don't know. I'm so fickle and finicky when it comes to beer. I will only drink Bud Light. I mean,
fair enough. You get something you like, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm a weed smoker, and I have certain strains that I'm the same way with. It's like, these are the ones I like.
Yep. So, yeah, and by the way, I still consider myself a man, and I'm still very attracted to women, even though I drink Bud Light.
I consider myself an it. I'm not even considered. Don't group me with these humans. You can't make me.
So yeah.
So this guy's down in Mad Dog and hanging out with fucking biker gangs. So this is good. And he's a teenager at this point.
He's a teenager, but he also started in crime at that point, and he had gotten a 6-month sentence for petty theft at age 17. Yeah, 6 months at age 17. He was already in the system.
Yeah, right.
Things. To get 6 months at 17 years old for petty theft.
Petty theft too, yeah. Like, cause I don't know exactly, but I'm pretty sure that changes state by state, but still, that's pretty low stuff.
Yeah. But he wound up hating authority as a result. But he found out early that when you fight authority, authority always wins.
It's just a bad way to go. Because every time, like when you're this guy just fighting authority at every step, they know who to look for. They know to come directly to you, you dumbass. You put a giant fucking target on your face because every time you're yelling at the fucking cops. Yeah, they're coming for you, dickhole. Jesus Christ. I knew guys like this and it was like, yo, don't worry. He's going to get arrested. We're going to get away. So we hang out with this guy.
Oh, I mean, there was this guy, I'm not gonna say his name, but, I was in junior high school and there was this guy and I was friends with him at one point, but then all of a sudden he just started being a dick to like everybody, like picking fights with everybody. He obviously got on drugs.
Yeah.
You know, but, this was junior high school. I was in 9th grade, but my junior high school was a 2-story building, and one time he came at me, you know, like over near the stairs and everything. He's like, Bill! I'm like, okay, I guess it's my turn now.
Yeah.
So it's just like he shoves me, I hit the guardrail and everything, and you know, I grabbed on back to him. I hit him before he had a chance to hit me, but then he tackled me. We went down the stairs. And, yeah, and then once we hit the bottom, he jumped up and took off.
Okay.
You know, so, I mean, it's just, the guy was out of control. I mean,
yeah.
You know, he was whacked out on something, PCP maybe, I don't know. But, I mean, anything is just gonna make you want to fight anybody and everybody for no fucking reason. Yeah. I mean, that's more than weed, that's more than crack, that's, you know.
Yeah, we had a guy like that. Anytime he got super drunk, that's exactly what happened, is that, oh yeah, he's going to start swinging at someone or something.
Yeah, so, but, yeah, I was telling my friend about it, like, later on that day, and he's like, I guess it was your turn. Because this guy was literally fighting everybody.
Just going through the ranks, like, yep, yeah. Haven't got this guy yet, might as well, oh yeah, he's on my checklist.
Yeah. But, after high school, I mean, he dropped out after ninth grade. And, but several years later, he robbed a 7-Eleven and murdered the clerk and went to prison.
I mean, that's usually what happens when you do that. I mean, it's not a high quality crime. You know what I mean?
No.
Like shit. Goddamn.
Yeah, but anyway, but that was Mad Dog. That was the type of guy that Mad Dog was.
And that sounds like the type of guy this guy is. Like,
yeah, exactly. They would have been buddies.
Oh God.
So by age 21, he had started robbing banks and he got caught, and that earned him a 9-year sentence at the Atlanta Federal Penitentiary.
Once again, that will happen when you're robbing banks and you get caught.
Yeah, robbing banks is a federal offense.
Mm-hmm.
Even if nobody gets hurt, even if you don't even get a dime from it, you still pulled a gun in the bank, and that's a federal crime, and you going away.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So he had done 8 years of his sentence, and in 1978, 1 year before his sentence was over, his cellmate was murdered.
Well, that's weird.
Now, his cellmate, this is, we're getting interesting. We're getting to the interesting part now.
Oh,
his cellmate was an informant in a drug-related case. There was a guy, and I don't have his name. There was another podcast that I listened to where they did a much deeper dive in on this. I was going to add some of this into mine, but I'm just like, okay, I've covered all the bases. I just don't have the name and the minute details. The name didn't show up in any of my research that I did on it. So his cellmate, he had snitched on a drug running ring that was coming out of Miami, Florida, and the guy that he snitched on was, he was also there at the Atlanta Penitentiary.
Oh, okay.
Now, this guy that he snitched on, he's involved with the mob, and
oh shit,
and then and somehow the snitch wound up in the same prison.
Somehow.
Well, he wasn't permanently housed at the Atlanta Penitentiary. He was just there on a stopping point to go somewhere else. But they
conveniently put there. Like, here he is. Yeah. Here you go.
Yeah. Actually, to be honest, I think it was an oversight. But
yeah, fair enough. I mean, shit happens, but sometimes stuff's very lucky in your favor, and it's like, hey, right. I know who that guy is. I remember you.
They were taking him out west to, just to get him away from the mob or the cartel or whatever. Mm-hmm. But it raised the question, it's like, okay, if you know that he's an informant going into the witness protection program, and that the guy that he snitched on is in the Atlanta Federal Penitentiary, why not just put him in some jail? Stick him in solitary or something at a local jail?
Literally any other jail in the area would have been better.
In the world.
But here we are, and he's there.
Yeah. So, and they had put him in, they had put him in the same, but hell, just put him in freaking solitary there at Atlanta, at the federal pen if you want him there for whatever reason.
He'll get bored. He needs a roommate. I'm sure it'll be fine.
So anyway, yeah, but anyway, the person that he snitched on found out that he was there, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. But he was murdered, and Pruett testified saying that he saw the drug dealer do it.
Okay.
So he agreed to testify in exchange for his release and to be put into the witness protection program. But he's only 11 months out from being released anyway. So it's like, damn, if you just kept your mouth shut, you're almost done. You wouldn't even have to mess with the witness exchange, the witness protection.
Yeah, seriously though.
Angle. So he's injected himself into this case that had absolutely nothing to do with him.
Yeah. That doesn't seem like the brightest thing. But this guy does, I mean, you called him a cut rate fucking Pee Wee Gaskins, so.
Right, exactly.
I don't think we should be looking for the smartest moves by this dude.
Right. So Upon his release, the FBI put him in the federal witness protection program and gave him the name Charles Pearson, and he added Sonny to it. So Charles Sonny Pearson.
Okay.
I'm guessing that he was a Godfather fan.
Probably.
Sonny.
It would have been about the right time too, right?
Yeah.
Was it like late 70s? Yeah.
Now this is, late 70s. Yeah. I'm guessing that he was probably a big Godfather fan, and that's why I'm Sonny.
Oh God, this guy fucking walking around calling himself Sonny. Like that.
Mad Dog
though.
Sonny.
Yeah.
Mad Dog Sonny. I'm Mad Dog Sonny. I'm Mad Dog Sonny.
Could you imagine being stuck in a fucking prison cell with this guy? Are we sure this dude didn't kill himself? Like the informant just be like, man, I can't take this anymore.
No, we're
just sticking my head in the toilet and finishing this.
Yeah, put a knife in that, because we're going to come back to that. I've stopped saying put a pen in that. Instead, I'm going to say put a knife in that.
Just stab it. It fits better.
It works better for a true crime podcast.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back to that. So, even though his name was Charles Sonny Pearson, for the bulk of this episode, I'm just gonna refer to him as Marion Albert Pruett.
I was going to go with Mad Dog, because, I mean, that's a great nickname. Fucking Mad Dog.
Well, we can call him Mad Dog. Let's just call him Mad Dog.
Hey, it's your call, man.
Yeah, Mad Dog. Al the Mad Dog. Al the ass licker Mad Dog.
There you go.
But, so he and his new wife, who he had met on Prison Tender, the pen pal thing.
Prison Tender. Don't give people ideas or that will happen.
It probably already is happening.
I guarantee it is. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But she was originally Pamela Sue Barker, and she was now Michelle Lynn Pearson. And they were moved to New Mexico, and for 9 months as a part of witness protection, they received $800 a month until they were self-sufficient.
In New Mexico, so that's lovely.
Albuquerque.
Oh God.
And he found work, and he also found more trouble. So,
shocker.
In August of 1980, he was arrested for a bar brawl for drunk and disorderly and resisting arrest.
So he's keeping a low profile.
Low profile, yeah. So
just going to a bar and starting a fucking giant fight.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So when he was booked, he had a clean record.
Oh yeah, because of the witness protection, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So instead of going back to prison for a parole violation, he was sentenced to 6 months of unsupervised probation over this, because when they changed his name, they didn't attach it. It's kind of like...
This is a guy with a fully clean record, so why wouldn't you just give him probation?
Right.
You got drunk and got in a fight, whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of like when the Cleveland Browns became the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens didn't get to keep the Browns' history and records and everything. They just started fresh with a clean slate.
That's not how it works, and some would argue that's why the Browns will be cursed forever.
This makes a hell of a lot more sense talking about this with you, considering our episode on the Yips.
I like that somehow we always end up talking about the Cleveland Browns. There are certain things that always come up, like, I mean, I hate to say it, but me and Gina mention a lot that Bill Cosby is a free man right now. And we don't know how it always comes up, but there it is. Somehow the Cleveland Browns, as a statement to sadness all around, always comes up.
Was Bill Cosby a Cleveland Browns fan?
Oh no, just, he should be in jail, and,
yeah.
He's not, because honestly the prosecutor fucked up very, very, very badly and did things they should have known they shouldn't have done. That whole
thing with Bill Cosby, I mean, usually when stars and everything find themselves in trouble, I usually just don't give a shit. But Bill Cosby, man, that hurt me. I was like, really? Really, Bill? Come on, asshole.
I come more from, like, when you look into what the prosecutor did. Basically, the prosecutor did not work in good faith when they made a deal, so they tried to renege on said deal, and you can't do that in law. You can't do that in business. You just can't do that. So, technically, because of how badly they fucked up, that's why Bill Cosby's free right now, because he shouldn't be.
Right,
but when you fuck up that badly and you don't work in good faith.
Just the fact that he did that just made me lose, even more.
Oh, I get you, man. Humanity. He wrote fucking Fatherhood, the book, right? And then it's like, oh yeah, and he was raping every woman.
And Bill Cosby himself was one of the greatest stand-up comedy routines of all time.
That's really the sad thing, too, because when you hear it holds up, too. That's the fucking worst.
It does hold up.
God damn it. Yeah. I feel like we're defending Bill Cosby. Why did I even bring him up? This is all my fault. I apologize so much. Back on track.
Back on track. Hashtag, but I digress.
Oh, God.
So, in New Mexico near Albuquerque, here we go. Albuquerque, on April of 1981, 2 field workers discovered a body that had been badly burned.
Ew.
It was a woman, and she was naked, and the body had been beaten with a hammer prior to being burned. And
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was a grisly scene. So they're out there, out there in the New Mexico desert. Yeah, it's still freaking hot in April out there.
Oh man, I can only imagine.
Yeah, it wasn't pleasant. But the woman had, evidence of tattoos on her, so the police suspected that she might have been a biker.
Well, I mean, once again, this is early 80s. It's not like it is now. You know what I mean? Like, if you had a tattoo back in the 80s, you were an outlaw.
Right. And she had multiple tattoos as well.
Oh my God, yeah, and especially as a woman, that's very much so. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the standards were very different for body modding back in the day.
Yeah, it was a good place. It was definitely a good place to start.
Yeah, right.
But where was I? Okay, a medical alert bracelet was found nearby and was traced to a woman named Pamela Sue Barker. Her mother was located, and it was confirmed that her husband, Charles Sonny Pearson, and she were indeed bikers, and that they had recently moved to New Mexico about a year or two prior, and they had joined up with a local motorcycle club, and that Pearson had found work with a trucking company shortly after, shortly later, and then wound up also getting, becoming part owner in it.
Okay.
He basically kept to himself and really didn't make any attempt to be close with his co-workers. He pretty much just ran with the bikers. And he was a short guy, around 5'7". And he had a glass eye, which was the result of a childhood accident.
I mean, it makes sense. His name is friggin' Mad Dog. I'd be shocked if he still had both his eyes at this point of life.
But that other podcast that I was listening to, and for it was Muriel's Murders. I really enjoy that podcast. But tried to get them to do a collab with us, but whatever. I guess we're not big enough yet.
we get it too. We did the one on Stuart Wilkin, which was a South African serial killer, and I reached out to a pretty well-known South African podcast because I thought they might have some info. And actually, the one guy, he's an ex-profiler who had been part of the case, and I saw they gave us one lesson and never talked to us again. I was kind of proud of that one, honestly. Same with the South African one. I'll mention that one by name because everyone should listen to it. It's called Profiler. Yeah. Just look for that. Profiler Africa, and you will find it. It's such a good one.
Yeah, the Muriel's Murders, they said in the podcast that, and their episode on him, and there aren't a lot of episodes about this guy. I think there's like 4 or 5. That's it.
Nice. I love finding those cases.
Yeah. But they said that it happened as a result of him falling down the stairs as a kid.
Okay.
But I like Henry Lee Lucas's backstory about his fake eye. It's better than just falling down the stairs. Him and his brother were wrestling around, and they were fighting with knives and mace, and that's how Henry Lee Lucas lost his eye.
I mean, it happens.
Yeah, but Henry Lee Lucas was a chucklehead as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was literally a habitual liar. Like, it's so hard to differentiate what the hell actually happened there compared to what he said.
Yeah, we just did 2-parter on Henry Lee Lucas, and Muriel's Murders, ironically enough, just wrapped up a 5-part episode on Henry Lee Lucas.
God, that's so much Henry Lee Lucas.
Yeah. No, and it was good. I listened to every bit of it. So, after we did ours, obviously. I mean, it's,
Yeah.
But we're not talking about Henry Lee Lucas. We're talking about Mad Dog Marion.
Right.
AKA Sonny Charles Pearson. So, and yeah, he was just a scumbag, and even to his biker buddies and everything. One thing that he would do, I brought up the eye for a reason. One thing that he would do in bars is try to bum drinks off of people.
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody wouldn't buy him one, he would pull out his eye and drop it in their drink. And obviously, when they didn't want their drink anymore, he would take it and drink it.
I mean, it's a power move.
It is a power move.
That absolutely is. I'm just going to plop my eyeball in your drink. I'm going to see what you do about that.
Yeah. I mean, it's just... are you going to hit the guy?
I just only got one eye. I feel bad about that.
Just pulled his eye out and dropped it in my drink. I'm not going to hit him.
Well, I know if I have to fight him, I just have to keep coming in and out because he's got no fucking depth perception, so...
But, that's a good reason why it's better to drink from a bottle or a can when you're in a bar.
Oh my God, yeah.
But he was also a master manipulator, so he could talk other people into doing whatever the hell he wanted. He was one of those guys. So, 2 days after this corpse was discovered, his wife.
Yep.
Mad Dog went to the sheriff's office saying, I heard that y'all found a body and I think that it might be my wife.
Why would you think that, Mad Dog? Is there a reason you might think that's, your wife?
Yeah, exactly. He told police that his wife had disappeared 6 weeks prior and that he had filed a missing persons report in a neighboring county.
Okay.
He said that on March... the county that he lived in.
No. Why would you do that? I'm going to travel over to the next county.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, he said on March 2nd they had a really big fight and she had taken off and started walking down the railroad at 2 a.m. And
sounds legit to me. That's what I always do.
And police questioned him for like 3 hours, and Mad Dog had revealed that he had a criminal past as well as a secret identity. So he dared the sheriff to contact the U.S. Marshals for the information, which the sheriff did, and the Marshals also said that the night before Pamela had disappeared, she had called them saying that she was afraid that that Mad Dog was going to kill her, and they just told her to call the local police the next morning. But she obviously never got a chance.
Holy shit! So if he does, okay, we hear you. We hear that he's trying to kill you. If he doesn't give us a call tomorrow morning,
yeah, just call the police. Call the police.
That's fucked up.
But there's
oh God.
But there's another part of the story that's coming, which we'll get to toward the end and everything. And this case, basically opened up a hornet's nest on witness protection. So Al is officially a suspect, and they held him for 72 hours, which was the longest they could legally hold him. Mm-hmm. But they were trying to pin down, get more evidence against him, because it's like this sheriff in Albuquerque, he knew what was up,
Well, yeah, I mean, there's only so much you can do, though. Like, you got that time, you can question him, and you can look for evidence, but if you don't get a confession, if you don't get the evidence, your time runs out.
You gotta cut him loose. But
yep.
So 48 hours later, a judge ordered for him to be released because there was no evidence. And the sheriff ordered a background check, an FBI background report on Sonny, and it came back with no arrest record, which is odd considering he had been in the Atlanta penitentiary.
Yeah, right.
But the sheriff kept trying to find information, and 2 months later, they got a break, and they tracked down a friend of Mad Dog's, 24-year-old Bill Sherman, who was hesitant to talk at first, but finally the guy confessed that he saw Mad Dog's wife. He saw him kill his wife.
Okay.
And that he had helped dispose of the body.
Ah.
He said that they had been partying with him together that night, and the night that Barker disappeared, and he told him to go back home and then come back later. And when he did come back, Mad Dog went into the bedroom with a hammer, and his wife was screaming and yelling, and Sherman went into the room. He went in, never go in the room.
So why did he do that? What was he thinking?
Never go in the room.
What do you think he's fucking hammering? Like, Jesus Christ, dude. Don't go in the room. Jesus.
Never go in the room. Never get into the camper van. And
never go to the second location. That's the big one.
Right.
For me, yeah.
And it's never a mannequin.
It's never, ever, ever a fucking mannequin.
Nope.
It's never been a mannequin.
Never. Nope, it's never been a mannequin.
A lot of people think it is, though. It never is.
Nope.
And that's how you get PTSD.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, there it is. Shit.
So, he said that there was blood everywhere, and they carried her body to his car, and they put it in the trunk, and they took it out to the mesa where they burned it, and they left it there.
So they ended up using this poor bastard's car.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, man. You got sucked into it bad, like.
Yeah, he did. You talked about a power move with the eye. That was a power move, too. I'm going to kill my wife, and I'm going to make you an accomplice.
Yeah, right? Like, shit. I don't know if I would have been cool with that. That's all I'm saying. Like, Jesus Christ. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
You said we were going to have some beer, and here you are murdering your wife and telling me we're using my car to get rid of her body. Yeah. This is not as advertised.
Nope. So at that point, an arrest warrant was put out on Mad Dog, but he had disappeared. But before he left town, he had stopped to see an employee of his, a woman named Alice Vick, and he told her that he had to split because the law is blaming him for the murder of his wife, which really, it wouldn't have happened immediately if he hadn't walked into the police station.
What the fuck? This guy is not bright.
No, it's like that meme, like how to make anything you say sound suspicious. Yeah, I bought this. I bought this with legal tender money
that I got legally.
Legally.
No crime involved.
Yeah, and I met up my friend who is alive, and and still alive.
Yes, alive. I swear.
And over at his house that was still standing and not burned down at the time.
Yeah, exactly, right? No, I get what you're saying. Sometimes it's a little too much, and it's like, Yeah,
it's like, or in Mad Dog's case, it was, I'm concerned that the dead body you found could be my missing wife.
Yeah, right? Like, I don't get that one, but I also get, let's be honest, policing at this time was a whole different thing. So sometimes they'll be like, well, I mean, he wouldn't have come forward if he killed her.
No, but this sheriff in Albuquerque did everything that he could do. I mean, this guy was a fucking rock star for the time.
That's awesome to see. Like, I mean, a lot of times, especially the 70s, 80s, the policing leaves something to be desired, but it's nice to see when it actually was like, oh man, these people took shit serious.
But this guy, but this sheriff in Albuquerque, he had like the federal system working against him. Mm-hmm. Which is ridiculous. I mean, he did everything that he could on his own, and
that's right. Because he's the witness protection, so that would be federal. I get you.
Yeah. So. And they're just like, nope. Yeah,
I get you. No, I see what you're saying.
So, I mean, once they identified this woman and all that stuff, they would have eventually showed up at his doorstep. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was his husband. That's always the first person that they question.
But there's a difference between a husband with no criminal background and one who has one. Too,
right. But as far as they were concerned, he didn't have a background.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Because, like, you nailed it. No matter what happens, if a spouse dies, they're looking at that other spouse first. Or they should. Like, that's
right.
Just statistics, man.
Yeah, he would have been a suspect, but he could have given an alibi, and him and his friend Bill Sherman, his friend Bill Sherman could have backed him up.
Instead, he just shows up, and he's like, huh.
Right. And they hadn't even announced anything yet.
Oh, shit, that's even worse.
Yeah.
I just happened to hear that you found this body.
I mean, we're talking about 6 weeks after the actual murder took place, and all of a sudden, this body turns up, and all they do is just like, yeah, I think that might be my wife who is missing.
This guy's not bright. Holy shit.
No, he's not.
Man, this guy is ultra.
But these are my favorite cases to cover, though. Mm-hmm. They really are.
Oh, no, I understand. I totally get you, because I mean, not that long ago, we did the lemon juice face bank robber. Yeah, and that was just wall to wall. Like, how is this possible?
I loved that episode. I was just like, my jaw was on the freaking ground the entire time. I was like, what the fuck? Go listen to, what was the guy's name?
MacArthur Wheeler.
Yeah, go listen to that episode on Mental Illness Theater.
It was a fun one, because there's one moment where the dude's trying to get a selfie with a Polaroid while his face is just doused in lemon juice, which I can see in my head, and that follows
Don't tell him why the lemon juice. Let him go listen.
Oh, it's a great reason. There's no good reason. At that point, what? It doesn't even matter. But yeah, no, the reason's great, but Jesus, oh man.
This guy and Mad Dog would have been good friends.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Okay, I've recovered. I'm good. I can breathe.
Oh, damn. But he swore on his mother's soul that he did not kill his wife. So he got the hell out of New Mexico, and then he went on a major crime spree.
So he got away. He kind of got away with killing his wife, and then he went on the run.
Right.
Which is always, that doesn't look suspicious at all when you actually do get away with something and then instantly flee
and then you haul it
the
out?
States. Yeah. Oh, good. The cops left. Bye.
But, like we said, the reason they had no arrest record prior was because the government wiped it as part of his involvement with witness protection.
Right.
And like I said before, witness protection took a lot of heat in the aftermath of this case. Yeah, but what they should do is just, sure, wipe it from public record, but maybe keep a file in a locked safe somewhere on people that you do this with, just for situations just like this.
And I'm sure it was a lot harder back in the day, too, because this is pre-digitization, right? Like, we're talking old school paper files.
Well, this is true, but what
I bet you it's the same now. That's, you know what I mean? Like, the amount of disorganization.
But you have a, but still, okay, let's say like somewhere in Quantico or something like that, you have a safe that's locked and guarded, for files like this. It's locked and guarded by top men. Mm-hmm. But basically, it's like you're basically expunging his criminal record or whatever. And, and if it's not attached to the new identity, maybe somehow make it, like classified, but kept under lock and key just in case, because these are criminals you're talking about.
Yeah, no, I gotcha.
I mean, not all of it. I mean, like if I was a witness to like some sort of a cartel or a mafia crime or whatever, and I testified, then obviously, but I don't have a, I'm not a criminal.
But that's the other thing too, though. But he wasn't in jail for a violent crime, was he? Like when he went to jail originally and then witnessed the crime that he ends up in witness protection for. What was that original crime again?
He testified against the snitch that, against the person his cellmate who was a snitch.
No, I get that, but like the original crime that landed him in jail.
Oh, bank robbery.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a big crime, but it's not a violent crime. It's not like he had killed someone, right? Like,
no, he hadn't killed anybody at this point, no.
Yeah, like he doesn't have a history of assaults and shit.
No, other than that bar brawl, but other than, well, I mean, he did run with a biker gang. I'm pretty sure that he had some assault stuff.
Yeah,
and
no,
everything.
that's true too.
But, and I'm just talking about the biker gang that he was affiliated with as a teenager that got him into drugs and crime.
Yeah.
So, but still, I mean, he hadn't committed, as far as we know, his wife was his first murder.
Okay.
Yeah, and I couldn't find anything that, if it came out that, he killed 3 other people before he killed his wife, okay, yeah, I believe it. But,
yeah, well, fair enough too, right?
But there's nothing there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, under witness protection, you're more likely to get found out because you might say the wrong thing and to the wrong person in your new place with your new identity. And that person, might, like for example, somebody from that Miami drug ring, somebody might be in Albuquerque on business or vacation or whatever and just overhears you saying something about that and everything. Mm-hmm. So they start doing their due diligence and piecing the thing together. And okay, yeah. Next thing you know, the cartel's coming for you, or the mob
they're not going to let it go. They're going to,
right.
Have their feelers out. Whatever happened to that dude?
So an all-points bulletin was put out for Mad Dog, and he would stay hidden for months, but he killed 5 people. 6 if you count the guy in Atlanta,
mm-hmm.
which he later confessed to killing that guy. Yeah, he said in interviews after he was arrested, he says, "Yeah, I killed that guy and set up the other guy so I could get out of here."
Oh, so the guy in prison?
Yeah, the guy in prison.
I was wondering about that because I was like,
yeah.
well,
that's why I said put a knife in that because we'd come back to it.
Yeah, because I mean he was a cellmate, and I was kind of like, well, how does he get around that one? Being like, right. Oh no, it was someone else.
But I don't think that he killed that guy. I mean, he might have, but still, he could have just been running his mouth. Like, I mean, he's a lot like Henry Lee Lucas too.
He certainly doesn't
get to that.
I mean, he doesn't seem smart enough to set someone up like that. You know what I mean? Like,
he really doesn't. So it's possible. Yeah, it's possible that he did kill that guy, but I'm not betting on it. It doesn't matter. He wasn't charged with it and he's dead, so it doesn't matter.
It's 50-50 at best, I'd say. Man, I'm with you. I would put money on that sucker. No.
So I don't think he killed that guy. I think he just found a way to weasel his way out of there 11 months before the end of his sentence was up, which was also stupid.
That whole year to do, Jesus, yeah, this guy makes no sense whatsoever.
Nope. So, but if it's true that he had actually successfully carried out that murder and gotten out of prison after pinning it on the mob guy, you would think he would have stayed squeaky clean for the rest of his frickin' life, not just because of the law, but because the mafia is really resourceful, and I'm sure that they.
Well, yeah, I mean, but once again, this guy's really dumb, so I wouldn't put it past him to think, well, I got away with it. Fuck it.
Yeah, but
I got away with it once. Well, who's going to stop me now? And it's
right,
like,
but I'm sure that the mafia was looking for this chucklehead too. I mean, like if he actually, it's like, okay, whether he killed the guy, whether he killed the informant or not, he still got their guy, on a murder charge.
Yes, exactly. Either which way, they're going to be like, hey,
right.
But,
so,
like I'm saying, this guy seems so stupid. I could see him literally thinking, well, I got away with it. So it doesn't matter. I don't need to keep a low profile anymore. I'm in fucking Albuquerque, man. They'll never find me here.
Yeah, never.
People always take wrong turns at Albuquerque.
Exactly, right? Like, no one's ever gonna find me here.
Was that a good Bugs Bunny?
That was actually pretty good. Yeah, no, I would give that at least an 8 out of 10, man. Seriously.
Nice. I have never tried a Bugs Bunny before. That's the first time I've ever tried a Bugs Bunny.
No, that was solid. That was very solid.
Nice.
Yeah, but
nice.
I mean, it's a good point. Like, Albuquerque is a joke from Bugs Bunny. So I can see him thinking, oh, I'm in the middle of nowhere. The mom's not here. They're not going to find me. I can do whatever I want. And just being that oblivious to it because This guy's a fucking chucklehead.
So, but yeah, this guy, you know, he on his rampage, he actually brought his given nickname that he gave himself as a teenager. He actually brought it to life. Mad Dog.
He went Mad Dog.
Yeah,
Oh,
and you can't give yourself your own nickname.
No, it's very rare, and usually, if it sticks, it's because it's a bad one.
Yeah. Well, Mad Dog, I mean, if somebody had given him the name Mad Dog, that'd be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, it's not like, you know, it's not like just, yeah, I'm Mad Dog. Cause I like drink Mad Dog. No, somebody's gotta give you you don't come up with your own nickname.
No, I'm literally trying to think of like any sports person I can think of who gave themselves their own nickname.
I can't.
And that's, same. Every nickname I think was given.
As far as the CB handles and stuff like that, you're usually given your CB handle by other truck drivers.
Oh shit, I didn't know that. I always thought that I would have.
Well, some people, CB handles aren't really used anymore,
mm-hmm.
but back in the day, back in the golden age of trucking and all that stuff. I mean, it's like you would talk and everything and you'd start, finding people and eventually somebody would like, oh, I like you. I'm going to call you Mad Dog.
Interesting. See, I always thought I would have been totally wrong, so I would have guessed that, you picked your own CB handle, so look at me.
You can. I mean, it's not like this where somebody's going to rag on you if you come up with your own.
Which we're doing right now. Cause it's just not a good idea.
Well, I had a student one time when I was, working for, when I was a trainer.
Mm-hmm.
And, the curtain that you pull, that's just like, it could be like hot as hell in the sleeper and
mm-hmm.
just normal and the regular in the front of the truck and everything. And that curtain separates it and everything. I had the student and he just liked it roasting. And one time he had it like 90 something degrees in the sleeper. And when it was time to switch, I pulled the thing off and I just got hit like bam.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, he was just like, I want a CB handle. I'm like, you want a CB handle? Yeah. Your CB handle is Heat Wave.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And anyway, you just can't give yourself your own nickname. It's like a freaking BTK.
You would be shocked how much me and Gina, my wife, make fun of BTK and his nickname array that he sent to the press. Maybe you can call me the Wichita Hangman.
The Wichita Hangman.
Fucking, you're such a goon.
My favorite one was the Garrote Phantom.
Oh God, man, I don't even think I knew that one. That's horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
The Garrote Phantom. Oh, and I don't know if I've said this in another episode, but I'm going to say it now. But I don't know if I said this in the original recording of this, but have you seen the Terrifier movies?
Nope.
Okay, well, it's this killer clown dude.
Oh God.
And yeah, I mean, they're basically just freaking gore porn is all they are. But I mean, I watched the entire franchise one weekend because I was bored. I was just like, okay, well, this is a new like multi-part one, like, Friday the 13th or Halloween or whatever.
I get you.
So I watched it and I won't be watching Terrifier 3. When it comes out, let's just say. But there's a scene in Terrifier 2 where he's in the home of a victim. Mm-hmm. And he goes into the kitchen and he pours himself a glass of water and he drinks it. That's a freaking BTK reference right there.
Well, yeah, doesn't he also at one point eat cereal at the house of one of his victims because he's a serial killer?
Yeah, that was he left a cereal box and with in the back of a pickup truck at Home Depot.
Fucking human dickhole. Like, man, I
but
hate
he was,
BTK so
but he was just like, but he was like it's like in court, he was just like, yeah, I would drink a glass of water. That was kind of my thing. But, just to put that much emphasis on Terrifier going into the kitchen and pouring a glass of water and drinking it.
Yeah.
Like that was a BTK nod right there. But anyway, hashtag, but I digress. So now, Mad Dog's on the run, and September 17th in 1981, he walked into the Uni Savings and Loans Bank in Jackson, Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
He was wearing a 3-piece suit and a wig. So I'm imagining like Leatherface going out on the town dressed up in a 3-piece suit.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that just kind of popped into my head.
I'm just imagining a really bad 80s wig with a really bad polyester suit.
Mm-hmm.
Herb Tarlett from WKRP for some reason.
Actually, no, I'm picturing, it's in the 80s, it's in the early 80s, but I'm picturing like a early 70s disco era suit. So, he told the tellers that they were being robbed, and he handed one of the tellers a bag and told her to fill it with money, and they told him that they didn't have the large amount of money on hand. Mm-hmm. The rest was locked in a safe, which of course they didn't have the key to, which is standard operating procedure during bank robberies.
Yes.
So Mad Dog said, just give me what you got on hand, and just give me what you got on hand. I'll take it, because I'm Mad Dog.
Yeah, whatever you got, just empty the till, give it to me, let's do this.
Because I'm Mad Dog.
Yeah, well, I'm robbing this place, so I'm getting something.
Yep, I'm getting some Mad Dog. But so he got some money, he got about $7,000, and he booked out of there, and he also taken a hostage.
Oh, shit.
A 43-year-old loan officer named Peggy Lowe. Now, this part is heartbreaking.
I didn't imagine once he took a hostage that this ends well, because he's fucking Mad Dog. He's not going to be nice to this hostage.
No, but still, hold on, break out the tissues.
Oh, fuck.
Not literally, but this part kind of tugged at my heartstrings a little bit when I was doing it. Mad Dog had initially had his sights set on another woman for a hostage, but this woman panicked and started freaking out, so Peggy told Mad Dog to take her instead. So, I mean, that sucks.
Yep, absolutely.
I mean, she's a freaking hero, and if there's a heaven, she's there. But still,
yeah,
she's like, okay, just take me, leave her, take me instead. Just thinking, I'll get out of this fine.
Probably not. I'm assuming not, seeing how the story goes.
Nah. But law enforcement and the media swarmed the scene, and Peggy's car, was still there. Mm-hmm. It was still in the parking lot, but she wasn't. So a statewide manhunt was put out to be on the lookout for Peggy and a man, and her picture was plastered all over the news. But they were nowhere to be found, but they had released a composite sketch of Mad Dog. And well, he is an ass lick.
Well, I mean, when you're taking hostages from basically a bank robbery you've gotten away with, yeah, you're being a dick about it. You're just being an asshole. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because it's not like it's a busted bank robbery where the police show up and all of a sudden you go, well, now I need hostages. You were just like, I got $7,000. I might as well take someone with me. Like, you're an asshole. Fuck you.
But they released a
composite.
Yeah, that of him whole, of Mad Dog But yeah, in calling him Al, I mean, you know, they did kind of release the composite sketch of him, but yeah, but he was holding a number 4 up in the composite sketch because apparently he had caught 4 touchdowns in a high school football game, a championship game.
Oh fuck. Isn't that I get where you're going there. I'm old enough to know that reference.
that was Al Bundy.
Yeah, that was Polk County High, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, I remember Married with Children.
Ironically enough, I live in Polk County, Florida.
There you go.
But anyway, but it was a good drawing, but it was one of those drawings that could have literally been anybody.
Yeah. Is this guy like just one of those random looking dudes too, or is he particular? Yeah.
Well, I mean, he looks like a freaking biker. He's covered with tattoos and stuff like that. But still, it's just like the composite that they came up with Ted Bundy. That was spot on.
Yeah.
Him, I've seen the picture of it. It just, I mean, it literally could have been anybody.
Well, that's helpful. It's a dude. Yeah. You know that.
But I mean, hey. Maybe, you know, I mean, it was a good picture. I mean, it looks like him, but there's nothing discernible about it. What they should have done is released well, no, that's not going to work because he didn't have a criminal record.
Right.
What I was gonna say is they should have released his tattoos like they did with Joseph Paul Franklin.
Okay. Yeah, especially at this time, right? Like, there's so few people with tattoos. It's not nearly like it is now.
Right. Joseph Paul Franklin was brought in, you know, his tattoos were his undoing.
I find it interesting. I know a dude, and he is the complete opposite of Franklin. But man, he is a dead ringer for him. Like, if
I work with a guy.
Yeah,
I work with a guy that looks like Joseph Paul Franklin. I really do.
Right. Like,
every time I see him, I'm just like, I'm thinking to myself, I don't even remember what his name is. His name in my head is Joe. And his name might be Joe for all I know.
It is now, so sorry, dude.
Yeah. Sorry, Joe, if you're listening. But now everybody that I work with that listens to this is going to be like Googling Joseph Paul Franklin's picture.
Personally, I relate everyone I work with to serial killers, so, you know, it's just a thing I do.
Our episode on him was a good one.
Yeah, it was.
Loved that one. Well, I didn't love it. I don't love any of them, but so that was a good one.
It's rare to have one where it was like, man, that was really fun.
Yeah. Oh, I just love that so much. I just love talking about serial killers so much.
Now, that dude killed a lot of people. God damn.
The whole point of doing this podcast is to ridicule these assholes, to make fun of them.
Well, I mean, you did warn Jeff, so.
Hey, did you listen to him?
No, actually, I didn't. I was like, you know what? I can't fucking. There was another one. Like, it was just like, this is too much.
We made him our bitch.
He's the worst.
We even tied Ron Dominique into it.
Oh, Jesus Christ, good old Ron.
We did. You should listen to them. It's not your typical Warren Jeffs episode. It's, you know, we outdid ourselves on those. We really did. I mean, it's probably the first podcast that, you know, the first podcast on Warren Jeffs that people could listen to and be laughing their ass off the entire way through.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because we were relentless on him.
Yeah.
And he deserved it.
Oh, there's a lot to work with.
Oh, God. As far as two-parters go, that's our best one, I think. Hashtag, but I digress. So they started, you know, they they put out the composite
Right.
picture, but they also judged his height to be around 5'6" or 5'7".
Okay.
And the fact that he also walked with a limp, which I neglected to mention at the beginning of the episode.
So he's a little guy, looks like a biker, and has a limp. That shouldn't be too hard to find him.
No, but they included all of that in the press release, and then tips started coming in from Tallahassee, Florida, all the way to Seattle, Washington.
It's still a little vague, yeah. Short biker-looking dude with a limp isn't, that's specific when you think about it. Fair enough.
But lots of jurisdictions along that route between Tallahassee and Seattle had reported a recent bank robbery by a man matching that description. And even though Al had his federal record wiped, he was fingerprinted when he was briefly jailed in New Mexico.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, rock star sheriff.
Yeah, right. So there's a record. I get you.
Right. So now he's on record. Mm-hmm. But as it turned out, Al, I keep calling him Al, Mad Dog had hit every single one of those locations.
So
nationwide.
he went on a little road trip, did he?
He went on a big road. These weren't false tips. So, he had left fingerprints, but Peggy Lowe was still missing. Mm-hmm. And in October 12th of 1981 in Fort Smith, Arkansas, Mad Dog burst into a convenience store and abducted cashier Bobby Jean Robinson at gunpoint, and her body was discovered shot to death in woods nearby.
So did he even rob this place, or did he just burst in and grab her?
No, he robbed it.
Okay.
I mean, he had gotten $163 from that 7-Eleven.
Totally worth it. You nailed it. Yeah, shit.
Yeah.
So it seems like this is more about the abduction than the actual, because you know what I mean? Like if he's robbing banks the whole way, to kind of sidetrack to a convenience store and take another hostage, which it also seems like he's not doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm gonna skip ahead just a little bit. He says in interviews and everything, because he loved the camera, he loved the publicity that he got. But he said that it was because he had a $4,000 a day cocaine habit. But edit, it was $4,000 a week, not $4,000 a day. But still, I have questions about that, which we'll get to later. But that's how he justified it.
Are we going to do cocaine economics?
Actually, yeah, and yeah, I have that coming. I am
excited to do some cocaine economics with you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's coming.
No,
but still, that's one of the things that he justified, this $4,000 a day cocaine habit that he had. Which, like I said, I have questions about.
Yeah, that's a lot of cocaine.
So 4 days later in Loveland, Colorado, the police responded to an early morning shooting at a 7-Eleven. The victim was still alive when he got there, and it was 21-year-old Anthony Tate, who had been shot 4 times at point blank range. And he died at the hospital.
Shit.
And then 13 miles away in Fort Collins, Colorado, another 7-Eleven had been robbed, and the 24-year-old James Balderson had been shot.
So now he's just robbing and shooting.
Yeah. So Colorado put out an APB, and the FBI immediately responded because they had been watching for suspicious robberies. Mm-hmm. And by that time, Mad Dog had been linked due to fingerprints to the Mississippi bank robbery and kidnapping. And then 2 days later, a speeding Cadillac was pulled over in Amarillo, Texas. A .38 revolver and actual 7-Eleven receipts from Colorado were found in the car.
He kept the fucking receipt.
He bought something from the place that he robbed.
Oh, Jesus Christ. And he kept the receipt.
Well, maybe he needed gas.
Fair enough. You can write it off in your fucking taxes, like, dude.
But you have to prepay for gas though. So maybe you prepay for the gas and
in 1981.
Well, good point. Good point.
Yeah, like
in the 80s.
Now
in the 80s, you could just in the 80s you could just drive up to it, pop it in there, do it, then go in there and pay.
He was like keeping receipts for his taxes or some shit. Like, gotta keep that. My accountant will be so happy when these are all in order. Gonna get a big return this year. Jesus. Fuck, man. This guy. I don't think he's very bright, I think is what it keeps coming down to. Yeah.
So he buys a pack of smokes and beer, but maybe the gas is way too expensive.
Wow. Wait a couple years, buddy.
Yeah, right. But the driver, of course, was Marion Albert Pruett. And the victim's family, cause by this time the whole thing about the witness protection had come out.
Yeah, okay.
So, because his story is front page news at this point. So, the fact that he'd been given a new identity by the FBI when he was a convicted bank robber, as that New Mexico sheriff.
Yep.
He even chimed in. It's like, look, I had this guy.
Had I known his previous record,
you guys wouldn't help me. We knew that he had done something, and when he said that he was there, it's like, we had him, but nothing. You wouldn't give us any help. So he could have,
See, I still wonder though where he had no violent crimes before. Even if they knew about his past, is that still enough?
Well, you got to figure he was 21 when he got locked up for the bank robbery. Mm-hmm. But anything after, there's like a little bit of time in between 18 and 21. But still, anything that happened prior to 18 gets expunged.
Fair enough, too. So yeah, I get what you're saying. There's only like a 3-year window there.
Right, and he could have laid low or just done menial shit or even big shit that he didn't get caught for. But still.
Fair enough, but what I'm saying is still with no actual physical evidence and no previous record of violent crime.
Yeah, but nothing was attached to this new identity.
Yeah, see, exactly. It's just a void. Like it's just like, man, there's nothing there.
Right. So, the sheriff could have locked Mad Dog up.
Any which way, he would have had better information to work with.
Right.
Yes.
And these 4 other people would still be alive. But Peggy Lowe is still missing at this point, but we're going to find out what happened to her. Mm-hmm. But Pruett was Mad Dog was extradited back to Mississippi because of the bank robbery, because the bank robbery, because of the bank robbery and the kidnapping. Both of those are 2 federal charges.
I get you.
And the fact that Peggy Lowe was still missing.
Yes.
2 weeks later, Mad Dog had confessed to killing Peggy.
I'm assuming it wasn't pretty.
No, he had driven Peggy to the Alabama state line and he shot her in the head, execution style, and dumped her body. Oh. Yeah, he had made her strip and kneel and then just basically shot her in the head. And he took the police to the body, and it was obviously decomposing because it had been like a month or
in
so.
Alabama too, or on the border where it's not going to be.
Yeah.
It's not the frozen wasteland of Canada where you can go out to your trash and be frozen in a snowbank for fucking 6 months.
Right. Yeah, this is summertime in Alabama.
Oh, yeah, it's not going to take long for a body to get foul. No.
But after leading police to Peggy's body, he said, "I'm hungry. Can we go get some breakfast?"
Jesus fucking Christ, this asshole. I hate him.
Yeah, cops love that. They just love that.
Right. Oh, yeah, man. Let's go get some bacon. I'm hungry.
I mean, they
You guys,
you got me.
I could make a cannibal joke here, but that's just a bad taste.
I haven't got you yet, but you just got me on my own fucking show.
But I mean,
you just derailed me, and I haven't gotten you yet.
I'll get you back on track, because here's what I don't understand about this whole thing. Why did he take her hostage in the first place? It wasn't like he was using her as, like, a chip later.
A human shield or anything like that.
Right,
yeah.
like, oh, the police are coming at me. I can make sure I can use this hostage so they don't kill me. Right? Like, that I get. He just fucking drove her to
He just wanted to kill her.
What the fuck? What? This guy's not very bright.
No. But yeah, cops just love a good sense of humor in situations like that.
Oh, they never like a good sense of humor, and I have learned that firsthand so many times. Oh my God. I mean, a quick sidetrack. This was good because I was a teenager, and it was a cop I knew from, like, I used to play hockey as a kid. This guy had been my coach. So I see him as my hockey coach. He's actually a police officer. And he rolls up one day. We didn't see him coming. We had just smoked all the weed we had. And he caught me with a roach. And he starts telling me, I swear to God, the exact quote was, I got a real hate on for dopers.
A hate on?
A hate on for dopers.
A hate on.
A hate on. I am 16 at the time. We had just smoked all our weed. This guy is my hockey coach, and that struck me as the funniest thing I had ever fucking heard. And I start...
A hate on.
A hate on for dopers. And I start
That's
laughing in his face. And he gets really pissed off, and then he says, once again, direct quote, you pissed in the wrong guy's cornflakes. And I'm nearly...
I've heard that one before.
And I know, but I'm nearly pissing myself because I cannot take this man seriously. And then the worst, I keep calling him by his first name, Doug. And he keeps saying it's Constable so-and-so. I won't say his last name. And man, he almost arrested me over a roach because literally I could not stop laughing at him because the dude was comedy fucking gold. So that's my long way of saying, no, police don't like it when you laugh at them.
No, they don't. I was being facetious when I said that.
No, everyone should know that, but just don't.
Yeah.
Just, no matter how you feel about the police, don't laugh at them because they're gonna fucking.
No.
Oh man, it's gonna get bad fast.
Yeah, it's like these sovereign citizen fucks that on these videos that they take when they're getting pulled up. I don't have to do anything you're saying because I'm a sovereign citizen. And they sound like flat earthers.
Oh yeah, at that point, just go along with it. Just like, I mean.
It's just like, I've seen videos where it's just like, okay, the guy was pulled over for a routine speeding ticket or something like that. And he's just like, I don't have to open it. He might have even gotten away with a warning, but nope, I don't recognize your authority. I am a sovereign citizen, blah, blah, blah. Now you're going to jail, you fucking moron, because you were going 51 in a 40.
There's a time and a place, and there's just not a time and a place, because, I mean, not to get us completely sidetracked, but that reminds me of another story from when I was young. We got busted underage for drinking in public, and this cop was actually half decent. He just poured our liquor out and let us go. No fines.
Right. I've no friends that happened before.
So
I mean, if you're cool to the cops, one time I got pulled over. Mm-hmm. One time I got pulled over, I was doing like 30 miles over the speed limit.
Yeah.
But I had to take a fucking piss. And the cops was like, wait, and he actually had his hand on his gun because he thought that I was doing something. He's like, license registration. Why the hell are you going so fast? Honestly, officer, I really gotta take a piss.
I'm creating a puddle under myself right now.
Yeah, it's like I'm about to freaking pop. And he's just like, oh, all right, go over there in the bushes. Go over there in the bushes. Mm. And, so I go and I relieve myself, and he could have gotten me for indecent exposure, but he didn't.
Yeah, right.
But still, I was just, so finally I was like, oh God. And he could tell that I was telling the truth. So instead of giving me a reckless driving for 30 miles over the speed limit, which he could have taken me to jail for, he gave me a ticket for driving 10 miles over the speed limit.
Yeah, right.
And it's just, be cool to the cops, and it will go better for you. That's
unless you get a true fucking prick, and then, all the bets are off, But yeah, 90% of the time, you're not gonna get that,
No, but I was I was about to frickin' pop, and I was going down like a long road where there was nothing there, and I just didn't want to stop and pull over to the side of the road because I didn't want a cop to pull me up, see me pissing on the side of the road, give me an indecent exposure charge.
So, I mean, this one might be a little sexist, but it was my friend, and he did this. Not to get completely sidetracked, but once again, me and 2 friends were drinking, and these guys were wild, and the police got called to this place we were at, and basically, my one very drunk friend looked at this female cop who was wearing, like, the vest.
Oh, boy.
And said very drunkenly, "I bet under that vest you got great tits." And the cop, to her credit, looked at me and my friend, and she said, "You take care of your friend, or I'm taking care of all 3 of you."
Oh!
And we were like, "Thank you so much, ma'am. We will get him the fuck out of here. You will never see us again because, man, I'm surprised you're not just billy clubbing him, pepper spraying us." And like, holy shit. It was bad. It was fucking bad. But yeah, sometimes, cops are cool about stuff because, that could have turned out very badly for us. Should have, really.
Yeah, but...
Anyway.
I mean, another time, this is just really quick. Another time I was speeding. When I was like, I had my license suspended several times when I was like in my, late teens, early 20s.
Yeah.
But, one time, and I had a Cougar XR7 with a 5.0, a 302 in it. And that car would haul ass.
Yeah.
But one time I got pulled over, cop walks up. Any idea why I pulled you over? I said, probably for speeding.
Yeah, right.
He's like, "Yep, I got the, I didn't get a discount on the ticket for doing that, but still,
Just being like, yeah, no, I know."
This was another situation where, I could have wound up going to jail because of, but now I drive like a grandpa because, during that time, I drove on a suspended license and got caught for it a couple times, but, went to jail, everything. But anyway, let's get back to the story. Hashtag, but I digress. But later that day, Mad Dog was interviewed by a couple reporters where he said, "I'm Mad Dog Killer." And he admitted to all of his killing.
Fuck, man.
He admitted to all of his killings, and he also said that the bank robberies were to feed, like I said before, his $4,000 a week cocaine habit.
Well, what are you going to do?
Well,
right.
Remember I told you I had doubts?
That's a lot of money to shove up your nose. So, I guess you're going to rob banks or be I don't even know. Shit. That's so much.
Okay. He said that he had a $4,000 a week cocaine habit, and that was back in the early 80s. That's probably about $20,000 now, give or take.
Okay.
He did not have a $4,000 a week cocaine habit.
Well, I'm going to do a little quick cocaine math here.
Okay, while you're doing that, just chew on this.
Mm-hmm.
If he did, now he's in jail, or he's in jail at this point. He hasn't gone to prison yet, but he's in jail at this point. And if he's in jail,
you're going to notice the fact that he's not getting cocaine because he's going to be going fucking apeshit.
Exactly. He'd be having serious withdrawal. He'd be sweating. He'd be shaking. He wouldn't even be able to talk. He wouldn't even be able to put together a coherent thought. I mean, he might have been on coke, but there's no way he had a $4,000 a week cocaine habit.
Well, I'm just doing a little quick math because from my understanding, I don't dabble with cocaine whatsoever. But back in the day, you were looking at about $80 a gram. So if you do that math with no deals or anything, that's about 50 grams a week that he's going through.
That could kill an elephant.
If you break that down to the day, that's over 7 grams a day. Now, if you know cocaine at all, a lot of times they'll talk about 8 balls.
Well, I just watched Cocaine Bear last night.
Right, so an 8 ball is 1/8 of an ounce of cocaine. So that's 3.5 grams. That's still a hell of a lot of coke. My point is, we get to go back to baseball for a sec. Because there was a baseball player at this exact time in the early 80s who overdosed by doing 1 8-ball in 1 day. This is a prime athlete. Like, he doesn't have a system.
Prime physical shape.
Exactly. And he was on the floor in convulsions, nose bleeding, knowing I'm going to die if I do any more of this. So I doubt he's doing fucking $4,000 worth of coke every day, if that's what happens to, and the guy's name was Lonnie Smith. If you want a really good story, check out Lonnie Smith. But I couldn't imagine he's doing that much coke.
No. So that's why I was saying earlier, it's just like, I have questions.
I have a lot of questions. Like, maybe he was doing some, but I mean, I can't see him doing, that's a Herculean amount of cocaine to put in your body.
Hercules.
Right, like you're going off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I've seen the interviews that he did and everything. He knows exactly where he is. He knows exactly what he's doing. Does he sound like an idiot? Yes. But
does he sound like a guy who's now not doing 7 grams of coke every day after having gotten used to it?
No, he doesn't. He sounds,
like you said, he's the Wish version of Pee Wee Gaskins. So here he is.
So then he blamed the government for his crime, saying that he held a grudge against them from his first brush of with them as a teenager.
I think you got your break when you got the witness protection, which, like we said, left a gap
he
of
got a break
information
then.
there. Like, you got your do-over there, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
You got his reset button.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? I would probably kill somebody for an actual reset button that would reset me back to when I was 15 years old.
I don't know. I'm doing all right.
I don't know. Only if I could retain the knowledge that I have to this point in my life and to carry that back with me to 15 years old.
15 is when I found acid, so I don't know. It's a rough time to be going back for me because the next 2 years
I've actually been good. It's just like I drink beer and I used to smoke cigarettes, but now I just vape. That's literally all I've done in my life, except for about a year I did pills when I was like 20 to 21.
Yeah, no, I did.
But I've smoked pot 7 times in my entire life.
I smoke a lot of weed. I don't drink whatsoever, and honestly, a lot of people think I'm bragging when I say this, but it's not even. This explains a lot, but the amount of LSD I took when I was a teenager. And then later, because honestly, I did a hell of a lot between like 15 to 18, and then I took a long break until my late 30s. And then I found a dude who had some, and then I started doing some again. So, it still happens every now and then, but yeah, it's a ridiculous amount. We don't even want to talk about individual hits.
Right. So yeah, he blamed the government, but it's just,
it's not going to work. Maybe that's weak.
Maybe just don't commit crimes. And he's a white guy.
Well, the government made me do it. It's just
I'm not even being facetious when I say that he's a white guy. Cops aren't going to mess with a white guy for no fucking reason just to mess with him.
Right. But yeah, no, I mean like you said,
if he was a black guy, I can see it because, it does happen to them, unfortunately. But he's a white guy, white trash. But
yeah. And look, I'm still stuck on. He got his reset. So what's he whining about?
Yeah, he got his reset button, and he
thoroughly fucked it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like I was saying before. It's just like, okay, you need to be squeaky clean for the rest of your damn life.
Yeah, and instantly he goes and starts fucking around in every way possible. So yeah, I'm with you. You should have kept it squeaky clean. You would have been fine. But no, you're a massive douche, and this is where you ended up.
But he also provided insight on why he targeted the savings and loans banks. He said, and this is bad dog logic.
Oh, God.
He said, he said that and he said this in an interview. You can find these interviews on YouTube. Uh-oh. He said that 95% of them were run by females. It's like, okay, how would you even get that statistic? Number one. But
I think he made it up.
Yeah, but how would, did he just go through all of the research on all of these savings and loans banks just to come up with that information? They're run by females?
I'm going to say something extremely racist here. But I'm surprised with this man.
Well, he's a white guy.
Stupid he is. That he didn't go with the classic, the banks are run by Jews. You know what I mean? At least he came up with something fucking creative. It's wrong, but...
But Mad Dog was a lot of things, but one thing that he wasn't was sexist. And you know why?
What's that?
He targeted those female-run banks because women had more common sense than men and were less likely to try to be a hero.
I mean, I've never robbed a place, so maybe with experience he knows this.
I don't know. I mean,
see, I know 100% in any situation like that, I'm a coward, so I'm no person to judge by.
Oh, I don't know how I would react in that situation because I've never been in that situation, but...
I know myself well enough to know I would shit my pants and basically dive in.
But he also blamed the New Mexico sheriff for, yelling to the press and everything.
So it's your fault. What a fuck.
The sheriff broadcasted his protected witness status. So he just wanted to rob the banks and embarrass anybody. Just embarrass the government.
Oh man. Yeah, well, he embarrassed someone.
He then said that he let the police in Amarillo catch him. Mm-hmm. He said, that's why I was speeding. I wanted to get caught.
Obviously.
He then claimed that he wanted the death penalty, and he was charged with 5 counts of murder through the various states and everything. After all of this grandstanding, he pled not guilty and said that he wanted to represent himself.
Oh, awesome. Fucking do it. Let him do it. Yes, please.
Yeah, I know. I love it. Ben Franklin, I think it was, said that somebody who
defends themselves as a fool for a client.
Oh, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
But then, after pleading not guilty, he took the stand and admitting to killing Peggy Lowe.
This guy's not very bright. Man, just over and over, no matter how you frame it, this guy's just, wow.
Damn.
So he just gets on the stand and is like, yeah, I mean, I'm innocent, but I did it.
Yeah. But the drugs made him do it.
Fuck.
And it was basically everybody else's fault that he had committed the crimes. Mm-hmm. It might have been my fault. It might have even been your fault, Mark.
It was the drugs, it was the sheriff, it was the federal government, it was literally everyone but me who killed those people as I killed those people.
You know what? To be honest with you, Mark, it was your cat's fault.
I mean, we got 2 and they're pretty wild. I wouldn't trust them. They might do something.
It was your cat's fault. They made him do this back in the 80s.
Yeah, man. Yeah, exactly. My 2-year-old cat especially. She was definitely down for it.
Yeah. But the jury took 3 hours to deliberate and found him guilty. Mm-hmm. And the judge read the death sentence, and this punk who was such a badass demanding the death penalty, he started shaking and having a panic attack.
And this was in Mississippi?
Mississippi.
Nice. Because I was going to ask that with the death penalty. Like, is this one of the states that has it but doesn't use it, or is it like Mississippi?
Oh, but it was Arkansas that put him down, though.
Oh, nice.
So he was hoping to trying to do a little bit of reverse psychology. It's like, well, if I say I want the death penalty, then they're just gonna, they won't give it to me.
Yeah, they won't give me what I want.
Yeah, but that can, that can work with some people, but not somebody like with, not Mad Dog. You ain't getting away with this, Mad Dog.
It's one thing. Okay. We talked about this guy recently. It's one thing if you're Carl Panzram and you're like, kill me, I don't give a shit, fucking hang me. You hang me as much as you want. You're never gonna get rid of me.
Yeah, but when in Mississippi, when they read the death penalty, you're like, oh my god, no.
Exactly, so it's pretty obvious, I'm sure, when he was saying, yeah, give me the death penalty, it was like, man, you are just posturing.
Yeah, that's all he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Now, if you name yourself Mad Dog and you say you want the death penalty, you're gonna get the death penalty.
And then you're gonna cry about it, which is the best part.
So in Arkansas, at the trial for Bobby Jean Robinson's murder, he also got the death penalty. In Colorado, he got 2 life sentences for killing the 2 7-Eleven clerks, Anthony Tate and James Balderson.
Yep.
In 1983, he stood trial in New Mexico for his wife's murder, where he swore up and down that he didn't commit that one, and he whined. He actually whined because he wasn't getting a change of venue because he was such a famous character.
Like, it fucking matters. You're already convicted of what? 4 murders there? 5? Oh yeah, no, not this one.
I didn't do this one.
Yeah, like, nothing this man has done from the start makes sense. This guy's the most useless fucking criminal, like, Jesus Christ.
So, so the media had a field day with the fact that a protected witness had gone on to become a serial killer. And he was even interviewed on Geraldo Rivera.
Oh,
show.
Nice. The mustache.
Yeah. In 1999, he gave an interview to a Swedish documentary crew who were making, they were making a documentary about, last meals.
Mm-hmm. And that's how this all started, right? Like, this is how you ran into this asshole.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah, when I got to that part in the resource, I was just like, oh boy, we've now gone full circle. This documentary crew from Sweden, they were trying to tie in the killer's last meal. They were talking about it, and Mad Dog, I forgot to mention, while he was in prison, he found God.
Well, of course he did.
They all find God.
Every fucking time.
But, so he's just like, are y'all trying to tie in my last meal with the last meal of Jesus Christ?
Oh, Mad Dog.
Mad Dog. Jesus Christ.
Nothing you do makes sense.
Jesus Christ didn't kill anybody.
No. That's kind of one of the big ones. That's like the first one. Don't fucking kill people. God damn it.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that's not the actual commandment, but.
Thou shalt not kill.
Yeah, I think the real one's a little less profane, but, it's a big one. But yeah. Fuck no, yeah, you're just like Jesus there, Mad Dog.
Yeah, so he's like trying to compare himself with Jesus and everything. And it was then that he laid out his menu.
Oh yes, the big meal.
Yeah, and he was probably just talking shit for the interview, but then when the time came to have his last meal, he was probably like, you know what? That sounds really good.
I mean, some of it sounded really good, right? Like, I definitely would have eaten some of that.
Dude, I have an awesome recipe for fried squash.
So I'm not huge on squash, but I mean, I'd be willing to give it a try because I don't even know if I've had it fried, so.
Fried squash is awesome. I fucking love it. It's a mess to make, but yeah, just like fried chicken or anything else, it's a mess to make it at home, but it's, usually when you make it at home, it's better than what you're going to get at a,
Yeah, fair enough.
But when it came to his last words and everything, he said that he was no longer angry and he deserved to die for his crimes.
He was no longer angry. He wasn't. Because he had something to be pissed off about.
Right. Well, maybe, that's kind of sounds self-inflicted to me.
Right? Like, no, you're a giant asshole, buddy. Like, come on. You're not angry.
He was happy that he had found God.
Mm-hmm.
So on April 12th in 1999, Marion Albert Pruett was executed by lethal injection in Grady, Arkansas, where he said his last words were begging for forgiveness from his victim's family.
Oh, fuck you, Mad Dog. Jesus.
Yeah, fuck you, Mad Dog. The Witness Protection Program went on defense and damage control, and they blamed Pruett exclusively. Of course they would. Well,
I mean, in the end, he is the man killing.
Well, yeah, but still, if you're giving a criminal, like,
no, I see where you're coming from, but I still kind of hold that, like, where he didn't have a violent crimes beforehand. I don't know how much that changes everything. Because you see that he's a bank robber. So, like, maybe they hold him more, but with more questioning and more holding and whatnot, are they going to find any evidence? Because in the end, connect him to his...
I think witness protection... When I think witness protection program, I mean, yeah, there's that movie Goodfellas and all that stuff and everything, and that was like similar situations where a criminal gets put into witness protection. But witness protection, I think, should be more focused on, just the guy that just happened to fucking be there. Accident, in the wrong place at the wrong time and saw what he saw.
But I mean, you could say that's what happened to this guy. Like, if you take his story on face value, that he was there when the dude was murdered in prison.
But really, the guy that's in the wrong place at the wrong time, I mean, he's being forced, basically subpoenaed to testify and all that stuff, and he has to go into it. His life is over.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just like, it's just like, I didn't do a fucking thing wrong. I helped you put this guy away, and now the life that I've built for myself is gone. That, to me, is witness protection. And it really sucks, but I don't know. I mean, I guess it's a necessary evil.
Well, that's just it, because, like, it's dicey. I get you, but once again, you could have looked at it too. This is a guy with a nonviolent record who also just saw a cartel head.
Right.
So this isn't someone who's already violent who saw a cartel head. This is someone you might want to make sure, because, you know what I'm saying? They're not involved in what they saw. They're involved in a whole different thing. Right. It's dicey. Like I said, I agree with you. They should have been able, like, the sheriff of, what was it, Albuquerque?
Albuquerque, yeah.
Should have been able to see that record. But what I'm saying is, I don't know how, like, they might have been able to hold him longer. They might have even been able to hold him for a week. I don't know if that makes evidence that links him to his wife being dead. So what I'm saying is, even if they had that information, it might not change the situation. And when he gets out, it might be a week later, but he's still going to do the same fucking thing he did.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But, in 1984, Congress tightened the rules on the witness protection program, making, among other things, psychological testing on a potential,
there you go, because my big one, I don't think they should have even given him the protection. Like, are they sure he didn't kill the person that he was like, oh yeah, no, I saw the murder go down?
Yeah, it's like, okay, what they should have done is just like, okay, well, he's going to confess. Okay, we'll get him out of this prison. We'll put him into a different one for the remainder of his the remaining 11 months in his sentence.
Yeah, because fuck, this guy makes no sense. 11 months. All this for 11 months. God damn it.
11 months. Yeah. But like you were saying, he's going to come. He's going to come unhinged anyway.
Oh yeah, if he gets out after that 11 months, he's coming unhinged at some point, looking at what he did and how fast it was.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he was a ticking time bomb.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the psychological testing on a potential witness protection when it was a criminal. But the family of one of the victims, it was James Balderson. His family, they basically went on a crusade to try and get these people held accountable for things like this and everything. And they were. And them and the other families and everything were awarded $50,000 in damages. I think it should have been more.
Yeah, seriously.
But, an unexpected good thing that came out of the last meal episode. I mean, it's just like because of this case, there was a major overhaul on the whole witness protection thing. So I'm guessing that it runs smoothly. I haven't heard any witness protection debacles that have happened.
Yeah, right.
Since, but I don't know. Maybe I just haven't found it yet.
Well, how many people had heard about this one, right? Right. I know it was
true.
a big story at the time, but I had never heard of this dude.
I hadn't either until we did the last meal episode.
Mad dog.
Mad dog. But yeah, I mean, it was just a lot of action and everything, and it was definitely way up there on the crazy scale.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I just love it when we get somebody that's a freaking dumbass that we can just rip apart.
Well, that's like you said. I mean, it started kind of as a joke, but it still holds. Nothing this guy did made any sense.
No, nothing. Not a damn thing. I mean,
that's a good story. Like, right there. Nothing this man does is logical in any way, shape, or form. Let's talk about him.
Yeah. So, no, this one, yeah, I'm glad I found this one.
Yeah, right.
So, but that's it. I mean, follow us on social media. All those links are in the episode description and all that stuff and everything. And for God's sakes, interact with us. We want to talk to you guys. Damn. I mean,
I talk to you.
Mark's, you do. I'm talking to the, thousands of people that follow us on social media. Just interact with us. I mean, Mark, Mental Illness Theater's fans interact with them.
Yeah, we've got 40 fans and they talk to us and it's weird. You guys are all so broken just like us.
We had one interaction. One! About the...
Hey, we're big in Australia. What can I say?
No, seriously? You interact with us on Twitter or on Facebook, you're gonna get a shout out. I'm bribing our listeners.
I mean,
We've
that's
got
the
the
way
listeners.
to do it, man.
We'll give you a shout out. And anyway, thank you very much for listening, and thank you, Mark, for filling in for Todd. And
no problem, man. Anytime.
That was a blast. I loved it.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah, it was. Until next week. Later.
Have a good one, man. Catch you later.